Hi guys, so this is the Volcano Epx brushed edition from Redcat. A couple of things I wish I knew when I originally first started looking at it, and I couldn't find all this information on in one place, so I kind of want to centralize it a little bit for anyone interested. The Redcat obviously went through some serious changes over time from when most of the videos that I've seen on YouTube were from the original version. Obviously, very different tires came with it. These are, well, I think a little bit nicer, a little bit better grip. Huge wheels on this thing. I thought it would be closer to a little bit more of a kind of a hybrid between short track and monster truck. These wheels are massive, but I love the dual shocks, and the fact that even the brushed edition comes with the aluminum caps is really nice, because I'm probably going to beat the crap out of this thing. One thing that isn't listed on most of the ads for this truck is that the latest versions that you can buy actually come with the capability to use LiPo batteries. And that's something they really should have included in the adverts, which is really handy because, you know, LiPo just offers a little bit more juice and more longevity. So I already have those on the way, as well as a charger. Yeah, some other things I've noticed. The other thing I've noticed was that this is not the same type of ESC. The water, it is supposedly waterproof, but it has just the cooling fins. It doesn't have the fan on top of the ESC here. So that would, you know, I'm interested to see how that holds up. Also on the advertisement, it said the car came with a 1800 milliamp battery, and actually it came with a 2000. You know, so that's actually kind of nice, but still, I'm expecting probably, you know, no more than 10-15 minutes of runtime. I want a little bit more than that, so I ordered two 5000 milliamp 7.4 volt LiPos, and those will hopefully be here next week. But I haven't had a chance to take it out. Obviously, it's still, you know, spotless, but, you know, I'm excited to see how it does. I've seen, you know, pretty much all the videos. The other thing I'm going to mention as far as the body, I've heard a lot of people complain about the body, that it's flimsy. The only parts that I've noticed are really extremely bendable are the sides, and the tips are pretty flexible. And I'm going to actually solve that, kind of copying another YouTube user by putting some tape, some nice heavy duty duct tape on the sides and along there. Give it some more rigidity. Another thing I noticed, and I'm not going to do it just yet, but I am going to do this. A really nice feature that I found came with the Redcat is the adjustable body towers. Now, I originally thought, you know, that I didn't like how, you know, high it stood, you know, and a friend of mine said, you know, it's not going to be that fun on the track, especially compared to like his Traxxas Slash. And actually, truthfully, the whole body sits really nice and low. Like, it may be a little heavier, and obviously it's still a brushed motor, so, you know, until I upgrade it to a brushless, it's going to be a little slower than his. But the actual dimensions of this truck are not, you know, like, limiting. So I plan on lowering the body here quite a bit. But the one thing I will note is that the new bumper system, which puts the bumpers on the outside of the cab, makes that so that you're going to have to modify the plastic in order to do it. There is a bar in there. I don't know if you can really tell, but as soon as you drop the posts, the body hits the front bumper, which is handy. You know, I love that they put this on the outside. It'll help this thing last a little bit longer, but it means that when I do this, I'm going to have to cut the plastic and, you know, allow it to really drop it down. It's the same issue on the back as well. But yeah, overall, I've been really excited for this thing to come. FedEx was terrible. They did not update. This is the other reason I want to drop the body, is that I want to bring that plastic really, you know, kind of down there, help cover those a little bit, and it should be really nice. And it won't be an issue with clearance on the wheel, which is nice. Maybe on the front, but I can always trim that. But overall, I mean, I'm excited for this. It's an extremely customizable truck. All the parts, you know, I don't know if I'm going to go with as many aluminum parts because, you know, aluminum bends, it doesn't bend back. So, you know, we'll see what ends up breaking first and what I end up wanting to do. I know a lot of people have said that they do the shock towers, you know, here and here. You know, we'll maybe do that, but I think a lot of that's kind of a bling factor. I am prepared, though, is the plastic spur gear. Now, when you run completely stock, no one really complains about this. However, again, you know, through sitting for hours and hours and hours doing research, this is kind of how I do things. As soon as you upgrade the motor, you end up needing to, like, a lot of people had issues with eating up the spur gear, which is plastic, because the pinion gear is metal. And when you put the higher horsepower in, it ends up tearing up the gear. The one nice thing I wanted to double check on was originally the Redcat Volcano Brush Edition didn't come with any kind of heatsink, but they actually included it in this, and that's an awesome little feature, and I'm glad they included that because it means that you know, I don't have to put a fan. I can put on, you know, a new motor, a bigger, you know, brushless motor, and not bigger but higher kilovolt, and still have the ability to help, you know, kind of cool that heat off. The other thing I noticed is a couple of YouTube users during their unboxing videos were asking about the openings. These seem to be cooling because that's where the battery sits, especially when you run the lipos. They get a little hot. That's really awesome. Actually, that'll kind of help the battery cool off and keep it nice. Right now it's middle of winter, so you know it's not exactly gonna cook anything. But once it gets to like summertime, for those longer run times, I plan to put it under. That'll be really handy. So yeah, this is just my first video. It's my first truck with hobby grade, and yeah, thanks for watching.